When I first heard that there were trainers doing training over Zoom, I thought there was no way. Like maybe with obedience, but definitely not with aggression or anxiety, that the nuance was too strong. I'm really happy to say that that is not the case. And I've been doing this successfully for several years now. And man, my cases have gone so much better. The burnout risk is way better. And my humans actually have an opportunity to find out more about what's going on. So let me tell you a little bit about how it goes. First, this is me. I've got all kinds of letters behind my name. I started at Animal Behavior College. From there, I went and took the Aggression Master course from Michael Shikashio. After that, I took the test and I became a certified behavior consultant. I took the TAG Teach, which is teaching humans how to work through skills. I also did the FDM, so I worked in an applied ethology course, and I do webinars frequently. I enjoy learning, and I'm always learning. And if I don't have the answer for something, I will go find it. So that's a little bit about me, how I work. How your session will work is we'll say hi at the beginning, and then we'll go into a screen that looks just like this. It's all via this Google Slides. And when you send me your intake, I break it down in the presenter notes section. So we talk about your whole case. I'm talking, when did you get the dog? What was it like when you first got your dog? Everything that is relevant, and I will ask a million questions, even if you put, and there's no history form that's too long. So the first place I always start when we do these intakes is the first focus, the primary focus is making sure that the problem solving can happen and the safety. So my humans and other housemates should be able to move around their house safely. If that is not the case at the time of our intake session, that is where the majority of my effort will be placed for the beginning part of the session. Okay. From there, I tell my humans to kind of brace themselves. If you like to write with pen and paper, go ahead and bring some paper over for the session. I do record these intakes. Beginning to end, you get access to it. You get access to your slides again. You can see it all over again if you want to, need to, etc. But it is what I call dog training out of the fire hose, meaning it is a steep learning curve, and I guide you through it. And I love questions. I love to be interrupted, but it is a steep learning curve. So it is ideal if you're able to really focus during our 90-minute session for your intake. From there, we go into your goals, right? Everybody's goals are going to look different. So it's not like I can sit here and say your dog is going to be able to downstay at 20 feet, because that's not what we're doing here. If you're working with me, you're working with a behavior consultant, which means I'm focusing less on physical cues from the human and more on environmental cues to generalize your dog's behaviors. So the goals for each family are going to look drastically different, right? There's no way I can say this is how it's going to be for every case. What I can say is that all goals will be realistic, sustainable, and achievable, and it will be a conversation. Goals are not something I have planned out before our session. Goals are something we do during the session to make sure everybody's on board and know how to get to those things. It has to be small. It has to feel easy. The music to my ears is when I hear, oh, I thought about all that, but I would have never done it here. That's music to my ears. That's the goal. It should be stuff that you're already doing that you can just tweak some to make progress. It has to be sustainable. If you guys are out of town all the time, then the protocol might have to work with the people who are staying with your dogs while you're out of town. If you're somebody that works full time and you get home and you're exhausted, I can't tell you to pull out your leash and train your dog the second you walk in the door. That's not realistic or sustainable for either of you guys, right? They're excited to see you. You just walked in the door. That's just not happening. So they have to make sure that they're achievable. If we've got kids in and out of the house, school, friends, etc., everybody needs to be on the same page. We have to make sure that the whole family is accounted for, not just the person on the Zoom with me. What we do at a minimum is everybody leaves the intake session with two goals, a survive goal and a thrive goal. A survive goal is something that within the next week you'd like to see. So a lot of times a survive goal can look like achievable management plans, sustainable enrichment plans, like getting those into a routine within a week is a great immediate survival goal. From there, the thrive goal is, let's pretend I had a magic wand and I could fix your dog's behaviors. What do you wish your dog could do? Why did you get a dog, basically, is what our thrive goal is. We have to find out what's keeping you in the game engaged with your dog so that we can use reinforcement loops for my humans as well. So from there, everybody gets 3 next steps. They are easy, tiny. We make it easy. When I start enrichment, the rule is free, cheap, and what you're going to throw away already. That is where we're going for enrichment first. So they have to leave room for time and leave room to be changed as needed. So it all behavior change, right? I can't say at the end of this session your dog is going to be perfect. That is not a realistic thing I can say. I would never say. But what I can say is that when you start one of these 3 tasks, if you do all 3 of them, you will at a minimum have a foundation we can build on right away. We build the foundation immediately within the variables of your home. Improving quality of life is the first thing. So I look at that different ways. First, we look at the dog's quality of life, right? Is my dog stuck in a kennel all the time because they're dangerous? Great. Here's how we're going to beef up their enrichment plan. And then I want to look at quality of life for my humans. So are we noise sensitive and our dog barking makes us just want to climb up the freaking wall? Great. Well, then we're going to start with the crate barking. Yes, there's other things we could work on, but first for my humans' quality of life, we need to stop that barking. And then from there, it's one skill that will be used for your behavior modification moving forward. Like, we don't know what protocol every dog is going to need, but a good foundation for the general direction we're going to take your training to see how your dog responds. You'll also get access to a resource library. So it's a Google Drive link. There are docs full in there full of links to anything and everything. This is available to you all the time. As soon as you're done with the intake, you can peruse it. You can get whatever you need from it. And I do offer continued support. So some people do an intake with me and then they're done and everything's great, hunky-dory, and we say thank you so much. Other times people want more help, especially when they're doing the initial foundations and building the habits within their household. So I like to do my behavior modification support as a monthly sign up. So each month we say, yes, we are going to focus in. We're going to do these 3 goals for this month is what we are clearly working towards. And we're going to meet however much your time piggy bank and finance piggy bank can allow you to. And from there, we will see where you need to go. So there is continued support available. I do it mostly through virtual. We can do virtual coaching sessions. Again, it's crazy the stuff that can be done virtually. After the intake, we can meet up to do a follow-up, right? So generally I recommend if you're not going to do monthly support with me, I at least like to see my humans back about a month and about 3 months later. This way I can kind of touch base and make sure you're still going on the right track, because there are some really subtle things that if missed during that first month or 2 can lead to much larger problems. But if we make a small adjustment, like for example, if I'm working a look at that protocol with a dog or a leash pressure protocol and my human is missing the signs of anxiety or stress or frustration, then we're building on an unstable foundation. So I really like doing follow-ups with folks just to make sure we're still on the same path and still going the direction we need to go. You can send me videos as well. So I have humans that'll prop their phone up and I like to be narrated to. So, hey, Renee, I'm trying this thing you told me to do. The dog is over there. This is what I think you said to do and blah, 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 blah. Do the training that you think you're supposed to be doing. Show me the body language of the dog that you're most concerned about. Tell me what's going on while you're doing it. And what I can do is I can watch the video and just like you're seeing now, I can record over the screen. So I can say, see that ear flick. See that piece over there. This is the part we're missing. See over here, this was a variable I didn't know about. So now we need to do this. The sending back and forth of videos is actually really helpful, especially because my humans, right? I can coach the dog and the human virtually because it's not real time. I can watch it as many times as I need to catch both behaviors, okay? And then we also have to build a plan that works with schedule. Again, if we are working 2-3 jobs, and if your schedule varies, then let's pick a day when we're going to talk, or let's pick a different setup. If monthly sessions aren't going to work for you because you never know when you're going to be working, that's fine. Let's talk about that. So there's always a solution to find as long as I know what we're dealing with. If you have any other questions, I'm a super personable human. Please feel free to reach out. You can email me directly, say, hey, I'm interested in doing your intake, but that video you posted didn't make any sense. I have more questions still. What about this? Feel free to let me know. I do currently service communities and humans within the U.S. and out of the U.S. as well. So as long as we can make the time zones work, it shouldn't matter where you're at. Okay, well, thank you for considering me, and I hope to see you on my calendar soon.